Hey everyone, happy Monday. It's a pretty interesting day for sure. Had a couple Supreme Court rulings come down that I would say at least one of them may change the U.S. In some very negative ways. Of all the rulings that I thought were going to, definitely going to go the way of the conservative majority. The one on Election Day, specifically, what is Election Day? I thought that one for sure would be determined that Election Day is the Election Day, but apparently Election Day is not the Election Day, and now that's essentially open to interpretation. So you could theoretically have states continue to run an election until they find enough votes to win, similar to California, but every Democrat state. It's highly concerning for all of the obvious reasons. But I think what it does really is highlight the fact that the SAVE Act, or Save America Act, needs to pass. And they should, by all means, send it back to the House with a revision to actually specify or define what Election Day is for federal elections. And that should be contained within that bill. So we don't have to worry about a decision from SCOTUS. We can just rely on the Congress actually doing their effing job and getting this done. If there was ever a time that we need something to be passed, this is it. And yeah, I would say this is more important than the housing bill at this point. This decision today has ramifications that could effectively change elections in the U.S. Permanently, and lead to a lot of really bad outcomes very rapidly. I'm trying to stay positive about it, but I think the gravity of this particular situation is enormous. But yeah, they need to define Election Day for federal elections. They can't do much in regard to how states run their local elections, their statewide elections, but they can determine when federal elections are attached, how they are run, or how they are defined, and what's required. You got to be a U.S. citizen to register to vote in federal elections. You got to show photo ID to vote. These are, yeah. The other one that's interesting is, so Trump has the ability, or I shouldn't even say Trump, I should say any president has the ability to fire any federal employee except for the ones that are in the Fed. If you're in the Federal Reserve, apparently you're beyond the ability for the president or people to fire you. I've got to do more research on it. It seems like it's a gray area where it's effectively like the president hires or places a Fed chair, but can't fire the Fed chair. So is this like a fourth branch of government we didn't know about? Do they roll up to the... who has the ability to fire these individuals? That's the question I have. If the president can't do it with his executive functions, then who, pray tell, has the ability to fire people within the Fed? I think at this point, the new Fed chair, one of his big goals was removing the relevancy of the Fed. And with this decision today, I think that this may expedite that a little quicker. than otherwise would have, because what is the purpose of the Fed, honestly, at this point in time? Why is it so immune to oversight or accountability? Every other department has that oversight and accountability. They can be fired, they can be hired. If the president has the ability to appoint, they should have the ability to fire. If you can fire the FTC person, you can fire the Fed person. But apparently that's not the case. So I say make the Fed irrelevant. But outside of that, we'll see what tomorrow's decision holds for birthright citizenship. I'm not holding out a whole lot of hope on that one, given today's ruling. I think just about everybody, based on the arguments that were heard at the at any rate, the arguments that were heard, that it's not going to go the way of the direction that we want it to go, which is just another major hit to what it is to be an American. And it's going to spawn a whole industry of people getting pregnant in foreign countries and coming here to have kids, and then going back to their own country. I don't think that's right. You can't do that in other countries. Why can you do it here? It also undermines everything about the country. One of the biggest things about being a U.S. citizen is caring about this country. So when you get elected to office, when you get a role as a police officer, when you get as a role as a representative, doesn't matter. But the point is that you're born and raised in America. You're an American citizen. You don't have dual citizenship or dual allegiances. It should be the case that you have to be born in America to be an American. But I also don't see that one going this direction. But we'll see. But as always, keep believing. Hopefully, please, for the sake of God, that the best is still ahead for America. Peace out.